Raul Bennington, right here at Believe in Monsters podcast, and we're going to pick right back up where we were off air, talking about the rookies, the Bears rookies, Javon Dexter and Zach Pickens.
Zach
Go ahead,
Pickens
brother.
and Tyreek Stevenson. There's a lot of rookies. Raul,
Tyson Bagent, secret Bagent,
yeah,
man.
yeah. I'll let you take it from the top, Raul, top to bottom. I mean, we can
All
start
right.
with Darnell Wright, but how you doing? Welcome to the show. I think the
So
first time we had you on during the season this year, so welcome
yeah.
in.
So one thing I'll say is this: I said that Darnell Wright was the most ready tackle in the draft. I thought his pass pro at Tennessee was the most ready. I still to this day would have taken Jalen Carter. That's another topic, but he's balling. He's hooping right now. Tackles and corners get beat their first year, their first 2 years, right? Wright has been getting beat, but he's been learning and he's been bullying. He's much better against the run in the NFL than he was in college, and a lot more. He has more opportunity to because of the style of offense they ran in college. But he's been bullying. He's like a real bright spot and a cornerstone for this franchise, right? Stevenson, he's coming along very nicely. He's getting beat. He'll get beat. There's not a rookie corner that doesn't get beat. Your first
Yeah.
2 years in the NFL as a corner, expect to get beat, right? But they left him out there against Devontae Adams, and he held his own. He's physical as hell. He comes up to hit. So what we're seeing, we were seeing on tape in college is exactly what we're seeing now. The two D tackles, I just don't understand what we're doing with them because I think Pickens should be more of a 3-3 tech. And once we put him at 3 tech, he shows that flash. Dexter is holding his own as a more of a 1 tech. His pad level is so poor, it's not even funny. He just stands up and then he
Hasn't
gets
changed.
popped up. Yeah, and then he just kind of like just flails around, but he's strong as an ox, right? So he just overwhelms people. That's why I'm like, why isn't he playing 1 tech?
Right. Yeah, it seems like they should be flip flop.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean, I don't know what it is. The Bears made some additions, whether you agree with them or not, this offseason. But I mean, I think the one thing that's clearly noticeable from last year to this year is their ability to stop the run for once. I mean, I feel like
Yeah,
after
yeah,
last week, I think they're in the top 5 of like yards
yeah,
per carry or something like that.
yeah, yeah. And yep,
Billings been balling.
yep, yep. Billings has been balling. It's just the whole entire D line has been way better since I want to say like the Tampa Bay game was the last time
Yeah.
that we were terrible against the run. But now you have Floss who's actually changing things up and playing more man and blitzing more, right? So
He's
he's not
playing a lot
stuck.
of man now. He got out of his
Yeah,
cover too.
yeah, exactly. So it's like, man, that's exciting to see because it's like I've been asking for him to switch things up because he doesn't have the horses, right? And it's
I
probably
mean,
on him because he thinks that he's better than what he actually is. But it's good to see him switch it up. So that's encouraging. The defense is playing a lot better. We still give up everything on digs and slants, but as far as deep and over the top, we're a lot better. So I'm encouraged by that. Tyson Bagent, um,
yeah, dive
he did
into
what
it.
he
I
was
mean,
supposed to do.
yeah.
He did what he was supposed to do. I think people are overhyping what he did. I think what you saw more so was a game plan that was complementary ball, right? The run game was going crazy, and you're not behind the sticks, right? So now you have third and shorts, a lot more third and shorts, right? He doesn't have to play hero ball because we're not playing from behind. This game was like the first game, this game and Washington, where we didn't play from behind because the defense was getting us the ball back, right? The
Right.
defense was getting us the ball back, and then they were generating turnovers. So you're not playing from behind. You don't have an urgency to have big chunk plays, right? So you can, run the ball. You can play, time of possession. We have not had that. We didn't really have the possession in Washington, but this game was the first game that we actually played complementary ball. Defense showed up, offense showed up, and it allowed the offense to take a breather and just pound the rock. right?
I just don't understand why we don't do that with Justin. Like, why does this game plan change so much?
We haven't had the chance to, right?
We don't we haven't been running the ball like we're running the ball well in Green Bay. We're running the ball well in other games, and we just stopped.
I feel like when something I notice about Getsy is that when he gets down, even by a touchdown, he'll start throwing like crazy. Like he gives up on the run way too early. But even when you're down like 7, though, you still gotta, to Chris's point, you still gotta try and run more to keep guys off your quarterback.
No, and I think it's more about the game plan than it is about the talent under center. It doesn't really matter who's under there. If the game plan is the game plan, it's more like, somebody else on the Chicago media brought up, it's almost like they're trying to absolutely put the screws to Justin this year, what he can do, rather than trying to win football games, rather than trying to play smart. And I just feel like it's just stupid. Raul, I got a question on going back to the D tackles. Do you like the rotation? Seems to me to be Billings and Jones all the time, and Pickens and Dexter all the time. And I just feel like it would be beneficial to both rookies to kind of, meld them in with the veterans. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that would be beneficial. I would like Jones to never touch my field again. I know he got his first sack this week, but that
he makes he makes so many, like not so many, but when he makes a play, he makes a hell of a play. Like he'll make a 7-yard tackle for a loss, but then he disappears for quarters on end.
Quarters? You talk about games. The first.
That's what I mean. Like many quarters.
Yeah, he registered 0 sacks, 0 pressures, 0 tackle for loss, 0 tackles. Like you can't have that. If that's the case, play the young bulls. Like play the young guys and let that be. But to your point, I just think that we had a defense that was so bad that they couldn't stop anybody. Right. And when that happens, you're putting so much on the offense to score just to keep up. Right. So it's like every single game we were chasing points. There was even, think about it, Green Bay first series, we go for it on 4th and 1 in our own side of the field because we know that we know that our defense can't hold up. So you're always chasing points. You're always trying to get the explosive plays. We haven't had a complimentary game until last game. A lot of it might be because the Raiders are also bad, but a lot of it is that the defense actually stepped up, got stops, and got turnovers. If we can get stops, we don't have to always go for that deep ball. We don't always have to go for the explosive plays.
Yeah. Jalen Johnson getting 2 turnovers is big too. That was nice.
Yeah.
Well, to Raul's point, they're playing more man now, and it's like Jalen Johnson and Tyreek Stevenson are 2 physical corners. You want them playing man. So are we it's awesome that he finally got 2 turnovers, but this is what he should have been playing in the whole time.
Exactly.
Especially with both of them. I mean, both of them are kind of similar. Like bigger cornerbacks will lay the wood or good in run support. Like no reason they should have been dropping back 10 yards off a dude.
Stevenson had another monster hit.
Yep.
Dude, his run fits are awesome. I mean, you'll always get like a lot of these guys. You're just going to get energy out of them all the time.
What I understand, and maybe this is just football ignorance, is just the quick game. The quick game. Obviously, different quarterbacks and doing different things. But like the quick game this past week was on point, and so. I don't Rowe just hit. Okay, you got to get junk plays if the defense isn't going to give up. It isn't going to get stops. But why? Why can't you just be patient with the running game and the quick game underneath? Whereas this week it was working. The running game was really, really effective. The quick game agent was really, really effective because the offense seemed to be called maybe towards the quarterback's strengths or not. And I don't understand why. Okay, well, let's just force Justin into chunking it down the field. Yeah, he can. But what about going away from the quick game and going away from the running game when the actual quarterback's in there?
So first, I think that Justin is still not good in the quick game. That's just not his strength. Certain quarterbacks just are not going to ever be quick game guys, and that's fine, right? He got better, but that's not really his strength. We try to quick game Green Bay, and that was a disaster. He wasn't bad at the quick game, but we needed explosive plays. The game that we just played last week was very similar to Green Bay's, except we couldn't stop Green Bay at all.
Sure.
Justin didn't go deep. He didn't throw the ball deep. We just played a conservative game, and it was quick play, and that got us nowhere, right? Because the defense was that bad. I think it's just you need the complementary ball, and I think that the run game kind of gets shelved when we're like down 14-0. Getsy doesn't get back to it to the basics, right? So it's a lot that goes into it. I just think that a lot of people are overhyping the performance. There's a lot of screens, right? We had a lot of screens. We had a lot of running, and then we had a couple of like digs, and that was basically it. There was nothing that was like, man, like this kid has it, and that's no fault to Bajan, right? He did what he was supposed to do. That's his game. He can't go past 30 yards. That's not his game. So they put him in the best position for him to succeed, and he did exactly what he was supposed to do. But I think people are just overhyping the performance just a bit.
I think they just saw something different, right? They just saw something different. It worked. And so those two things together just give people the reason to overhype it. It was a completely different game style. He fit what they were trying to do. He fit that West Coast style that these guys like to run, that Getsy likes to run. And it's just different than Justin. And it's just, and it got a win, and it got a win. So that's the biggest difference.
I mean, right. Well, I definitely, hear what you're saying about people overhyping the performance. To me, though, I just thought him converting as many third downs as he did, and the offense converting as many third downs as they did was just huge, and to me, really impressive for a guy making his first NFL start.
Yeah.
But like Chris said, just different from what we're seeing. With Justin, you get more of the explosive plays, but with Tyson, we just saw consistent chains moving all game. I mean, it was fun to watch.
Yeah.
Now off of that, what do you think there is to work with here? We talking long-term backup? Like you would like to have him as a backup on your team, or we're not even that far yet?
Long-term backup. I think the scariest thing about it is his lack of arm strength. The ball dies, and I said that in preseason. He has a quick release, really, really super quick release, but he has like his arm strength is like Chad Pennington. Like he has no arm strength whatsoever. And some of you may be too young for who Chad Pennington is.
No, right? I know who Pennington was.
That was terrible.
Yeah.
That's
terrible. But he has no arm strength, but what he's going to do is kind of pick you apart, like slow lethal cuts, right? That manner. But with that said, the problem with that is that's the perfect defense for that is like a cover two, right? Because eventually you're going to run out of space. You're going to have to make a play, and those type of quarterbacks tend to not be able to make those plays because they don't have the arm strength.
I mean, we're going to see it this week. I mean, if the Chargers don't adjust to what they saw this week, then fire Staley on the spot. But the one thing is the Chargers cannot stop the run. Right. Yeah, we're going to see a similar game plan.
Yep.
But I just mean in terms of the passing game. I mean, they're going to obviously cue in on his inability to throw the ball deep or try and test him. But no, you're absolutely right. The Chargers actually have a worse run defense than the Raiders do.
Yeah.
I know people are harping on this O-line, Raul, and I know you've always been pro skill positions over O-line, but I think this O-line's been balling past few weeks. Fucking Jenkins, right? I mean, Whitehair at left guard, he looked awesome. He just can't snap the damn ball, but he looked good last week.
See, I just don't understand why. I don't know. I would have preferred Carter in there. That's just me.
Yes.
That's just me. Because after this year, do you have anything with Whitehair? No,
you don't. I mean, I'm just saying I think he had a good game though.
Yeah. But I would have just preferred Carter being in there, but it's here nor there.
I mean, now that we're talking about him though, so I know you haven't been the biggest fan of Ryan Poles, but I know we just talked about a ton of his draft picks. I mean, how do you think his drafting has been, so far from what you've seen from these guys? I'm not even talking about guys he passed up because you could have an endless list. I'm just talking about guys he actually drafted that are playing.
So that first year draft was some of the worst we've seen.
Yeah.
That first year draft was absolute buns. This year it's better. It's better this year, but it's still not, like it would be I think it would be really a really good draft if we had the vets that they could supplement. Like if we had vets that they were good enough and then we're like, we have these young bulls in the wings, right? Like let's say if we did not depend on Dexter,
like if we were the Eagles.
yeah, we'll be like, okay, we have these young bulls, they can learn and they can get better, and then when it's showtime, they're ready. But we're thrusting them into actual game time, right? And I think I think the two gems, like I've been said, is Darnell Wright and Stevenson.
Yes, I love Stevenson, but
yeah.
So back to the first draft. So regardless of George Pickens, because that's always the conversation, we don't like Brisker and Gordon.
Brisker
I like Gordon
so much.
He's so hurt. He's just hurt, man.
Yeah, I like Gordon a lot. I think, and I've said it since before the draft. I think Gordon's going to be really good in this game, in this league. Who I don't really, and I know Bear fans are like really high on him. I don't love Brisker. I think
he seems out of position a lot, especially in pass coverage.
I don't know what his flappy wrists are. I don't know what that celebration is. I don't know what shit talking he's doing. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what's happening.
He talks a lot. He talks a lot.
He does. He runs his mouth a lot.
Yeah, I don't love Brisker. I like Gordon. I don't love Brisker. And who else is out of that draft?
Braxton Jones and Carter and Doug Kramer, and I think that's it.
Yeah, we haven't seen much of
Elijah Hicks.
Elijah Hicks, who's getting a lot of playing time.
He's all right. He's not a completely sore spot right now.
No, that's why.
Yeah, he's not. But I don't think he's that dude. But you could definitely upgrade it. But I didn't love the.
It's not a lovable draft, that's for sure. But he also didn't have a first rounder. He had passed on Pickens, which is still suspect. Velus Jones is obviously
that's not.
It is what it is. That's a killer, dude. Man, I feel like the Bears' third rounders are historically just garbage. Like we've never hit a third rounder in our entire lives. So
we have.
Who?
Lance Briggs.
All right, that's one.
Lance Briggs was a third rounder. Who else? Olin Kreutz was a second rounder. No, Olin was a third.
Olin might have been a third.
Because it was Tony Parrish in the second and Olin Kreutz in the third. Unless they were both second rounders.
I think Kreutz might have been a third. I thought Lance was a second.
Nope, Lance was third. Because
that was a good draft too, because Vasher was in that draft. Yeah. That was a good draft.
Somebody check that. Was Olin the third or Olin was a second?
Because
Parrish came up.
1998 third round pick, number 64.
Olin Kreutz, right?
Yeah.
Tony Parrish was a second round pick, and Olin Kreutz was a third round pick. How do I remember this? I don't even know.
Because you're chilling in hotel rooms just thinking about it.
Exactly. Just footballing it up. But yeah,
what's the thought process the rest of the year? Because I'm sitting here thinking like, okay, well, you beat the Raiders, you beat the Commanders, you've shown you've got small, decent pieces out of your rookies. Are we still firing Flus at the end of the year? Are we still firing Flus? Are we keeping Getsy? Like, what's the track for the rest of the year? Poles as well. I mean, are you gonna win more than 5 games? What's the track for the rest of the year?
I think that personally, I think everybody's gone at the end of the year. That's just my thought.
Including Poles.
Yeah, including Poles. That's just my thought.
Right.
But I will say this is the most important game of of the season. Even though is not a conference opponent, but if you could get to 3-5, right, and you could get Justin back, and the defense is improved, right, you could get the defense to like 20th in the league, and you have a top 5 defense, and a top 5 run defense, and you just have to worry about the pass, and you can get Justin comfortable. You can have a shot. Going in 3-5, the team has momentum. The defense is playing. You have a shot, right? I think that's their only way. I think that's the only way that anything on this staff is retained. But I think they do have a shot. The schedule's not as hard as we think it is.
Oh,
But
yeah.
Panthers, Cardinals, Falcons.
Yeah. You play the Saints after this, right?
Right. And they've been
They're not
nothing
that
crazy.
They've been ass.
So
If you beat the Chargers, right, you have momentum. Justin comes back. I know there's going to be so much controversy, but
if
Justin,
they beat the Chargers, there's definitely going to be controversy.
and which is not good. But Justin comes back, and then you beat the Saints, and now you're sitting at 4-5.
You got the Panthers the next week.
Now you're
That's
sitting at
5-5.
It's a different ball game. It's a different season, right?
And you got
Oh my
Lions,
God.
you got Lions and Vikings
Just-
next 2 after that.
It just makes you sick to think about where they should be with a couple
Exactly.
of those games. I mean,
Yes.
the fucking Vikings game and the fucking
Oh,
You make
Broncos
the Packers
game.
look like a Super Bowl team.
Well, it's not even that, Joe. It's not even that. It's just like the Broncos game they completely gave away, and then the
Yeah.
Vikings game where it's just like, what the fuck?
And I think personally, the Vikings game, if Fields fit that game, we win, right? But you thrusted a rookie in there out of nowhere, but it's fine. But even if we say we beat the Chargers, we lose to the Saints, and we beat the Panthers, you're 4-6.
Yeah.
You got a real outside chance.
No, I hear you, Raul. This is like, I mean, I don't even like getting my hopes up, but I think you're right. If they won, this would be a huge momentum swing in the season to finally beat a team that you feel like is just a lot better than you, even though the Chargers aren't that great, in my opinion.
They're not.
But, 9.5-point dogs. So,
Yeah. You beat
huge
Chargers.
momentum on a national stage, too.
Exactly. I mean, all you have to do, the main goal should be just running the ball down their throat.
That's it. I mean, honestly, so I like the game plan of what Getsy did last weekend to get, he kind of kept Mac Crosby on his toes by running a lot of the outside.
Yeah.
Just like reverses and sweeps and stuff like he was running
Mhm.
literally like around him and the other way and just kind of neutralize him that way. And the Bears will have to do something similar with Mac and Bosa there on the Chargers.
Yeah, it's gonna be a quick game all day
Right.
because you're not gonna be able to sit back there and pat the ball and let it go. So they're gonna
Right.
be a quick game and all day. And if the defense can hold up, we have a shot.
Yeah, that's the big
Hey.
thing. So, I mean, the Chargers can fucking air it out.
you know
Yep.
who Poles' best pick was last year? Was 7th rounder Trenton Gill. Dude's a beast.
Yeah.
He actually is a pretty good punter.
No, he
Uh,
does.
I think Justin Herbert's had a shit year. I mean, for the
Yeah.
talent they have on that team, they should be much better than they are. He gets Mike Williams hurt every single year. Not that he gets him hurt, but Mike Williams gets hurt every single year.
Yeah.
What's his name is Quentin Johnston is
He's
not
terrible.
who I thought he was gonna be. He's not good.
He's a rookie.
Yeah, he's a rookie, but dude. Jordan Addison, Lucas, you nailed that one. That dude is fire. He's
Yeah,
absolutely ridiculous. That catch last night was stupid. Just
Yeah.
took it away from
That
me.
show was ridiculous.
They still
Um,
have the Chargers still have what's his name? Oh,
Keenan
darn it.
Allen.
Not Keenan. Palmer.
Palmer's
yeah.
pretty good, actually.
Josh
Yeah.
Palmer's very
Palmer's
good.
pretty good. That's who I'm most scared of.
Palmer.
Yep. So, like I said, if we can beat them, it's a different season. But if we can't, 2-6 does not look good.
No, but Raul, I mean, I hear you. I even I mean, honestly, I really don't even know what Flus can do to keep his job. I just feel like he's like, regardless of what happens, barring like the Bears making the playoffs, I think he's fired.
Yeah,
I don't, man, George is too nice, man. George is way too nice.
So incompetent all the time.
but let's say the Bears get a top 3 pick, right? And then the Bears miss the playoff by 1 game, right? Now Floss has an argument.
Yeah, top 3 pick because of the Panthers pick.
Yep.
Okay.
But we finish what?
I don't know, just say 7 wins.
7-9, 7-9,
Yeah,
something like
say
that. 7-10,
Yeah, or
8-9,
8-9, right? So you went from year 1, you were what? We won what? 3
3
games,
14.
Yeah, 3-14.
and then year 2, you won 7 games. Now he has he can
Yeah, he's
actually
got an argument. He's got an argument.
he has an argument.
Should even 6, dude. You double wins.
Yeah. But 6, this fan base is fed up. But if you go 7, now it's like, okay, he won 4 more games than the previous year.
Yeah.
But got to start. And then he has the adversity. The thing that is really hurting him is some of the off the field stuff, right? And
Dude, he's a mess at the podium.
He's terrible there.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to tell the truth, and he doesn't know how to tell, have convincing coach speak.
Yeah.
Do one or the other.
Yeah. But the Claypool stuff, the Allen Williams stuff, that does not bode well.
No.
But if go ahead.
I was just gonna say, all right, so we went with the positive side. Now let's go flip it to the other side. If things don't work out and they fire him, who are you looking at as a head coach next year? Oh,
man, if there's one person that I would say, I don't think he's the best candidate, but I think he's the best man for the job right now.
John Fox.
Now the thing about
Harbaugh?
Yeah, Jim Harbaugh. The thing about Harbaugh is he's not the type that gets you to the Super Bowl and keeps on winning. He rubs people the wrong way because he's a dickhead, and he overstays his welcome because he's a dickhead. Like, he wants power. But the thing about it is he knows how to turn around a sinking ship quickly, right? He knows the basics of football and how to win. So he's a stabilizer the way John Fox was, except John Fox was at the tail end of his career, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Harbaugh is right in the middle, right? So it's different, but you need a stabilizer, somebody that can get the organization in the right direction, and then you could move on from him if you wanted to. But I think the best person would
cliffhanger.
He said Harbaugh.
I don't want Harbaugh anymore because he can't coach without stealing signs.
So he's Bill Belichick. I don't see a problem.
Yeah, he's not exactly Bill Belichick. The best thing about Harbaugh is he knows how to put together a good staff.
Last time he coached the game without stealing signs, TCU put 51 points on his ass.
Yeah.
But how long ago was that? Like 3 years ago? When he
last year.
I always liked Harbaugh since his time with the Niners, though.
Yep. He knows how to put together a staff.
Yeah.
Now, Raul, I know there's probably no chance of this happening. I think I don't know. I feel like you wouldn't actually mind this hire. But if the Bears were to go this direction again, would you be mad if they hired Brian Flores as the head coach?
I wouldn't. I just doubt that Brian Flores would ever get another head coaching job.
Didn't he get proven innocent? All that shit that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Brian Flores is actually suing the NFL.
Yeah, he's a whistleblower, so no owner's going to want that.
Oh, that's interesting. So I don't know. What about Joe? Made a good point on here the other day though, because he's like, I want a guy that would go out there and he would put pads on for the team and go out there and fucking play. Like, he's that dude. Like, the Bears need that kind of attitude adjustment.
Yeah, and I like Flores, but if you're going to take Flores, why wouldn't you take Harbaugh? Because Harbaugh is that guy. Is the
No,
same
I
guy.
know. I hear
except
you,
it's
Raul. I was
proven.
just throwing out a super
Yeah.
hypothetical out there. Like, if the Bears were to go defense, that is the one. Like, I just look at what he's done the past 2 weeks with the Vikings. He's fucking got that
Yeah.
defense humming, and
Yeah.
those guys suck.
Would you
Yeah,
be okay with Eric Bieniemy? Because that was my other name.
I like Eric B. I don't think Eric B is getting a head coaching job no time soon. The kid from
The
Detroit.
Lions. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to see what he has as far as like a head coach. Only
Right.
issue is, can you afford to bring an inexperienced coach into this building again?
Right.
That's
I
the
mean, if
tough
you do,
part.
it's a huge risk, but
Exactly.
the risk reward. I mean, now I'm sorry, I'm asking a lot of questions here, boys, but
No.
do you think, like, so we've talked about this before too, like, how much power do you think Kevin Warren actually has in this process?
I think he
Because,
has all power.
some of us are thinking, hey, this guy's only in charge of the stadium. Other of us are like, no, he's telling polls what to do and hiring and firing guys.
So I think that Kevin Warren has all power. I don't think you leave as the president of the Big Ten just to be a stadium builder. I think he has all power. I think this is his team.
You think that helps his relationship with Harbaugh?
Yes.
Coming from that?
Yep. I think if anybody knows who Harbaugh is him.
I
So
think that
he could be the guy that gets McCaskey to sign the check.
Yep.
that seals Pole's fate, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think if this thing doesn't turn around, Poles is gone too.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. It's hard to tell. Like I said, for me it's hard to tell just because, the money is an aspect of it. And, I would be a very McCaskey thing to be like, hey, we're firing the coach, but not the GM or whatever. But
Yeah.
I hear you. I mean, I think if you're firing some, you should fire them all.
Yeah, and I think it is going to be one of those that everybody must go.
But if it's Kevin Warren in charge, then yeah, I don't doubt that it would happen.
Yeah,
But Joe, you have doubts about that, right? You don't think Kevin Warren is actually going to be in charge, do you?
I mean, I do have doubts just because of the way the McCaskies are. Just the way that, they might have told him he's in charge, but little Georgie's so nice. No, I just have doubts because of, like, all my doubts stem from the McCaskies, really.
No, I could get that, but I really think that for the first time in our lifetime, we have somebody that's a football guy that is going to put his foot down. Like this dude is literally was the president of the Big Ten.
Right,
like he's
right.
not in here to get pushed around. Because why would you take that job? If you're not going to be the final say so in things, why would you take that job?
That's my biggest concern with the next coach. He's like, are we going to get another little yes man, nice guy, old white man who will just do whatever the McCaskies say? That's my main concern with. All right, who are you going to bring in to develop? Could either A, continue developing Fields, or B, drafting whoever next quarterback and develop them.
I actually think that okay, so this is just a bit of my bias, but I think Harbaugh would also not mind riding with Fields. Right now, this doesn't. If we have the first overall pick, that changes everything, right? But let's say we have the third or the second. I think that Harbaugh, like Alex Smith, wouldn't mind riding with Fields, right, and then picking his guy.
Well, do you think he'd bring Greg? Do you think he'd bring Greg Roman with him?
No,
You don't
possible,
think so?
but I doubt it.
So I feel like Greg Roman and Fields would be a solid match. Now,
I'm not
just
a Greg
from
Roman fan. I've never been a Greg Roman fan.
yeah, he's interesting as a coordinator. I mean, his run game's always good, but his pass game's
It's awful.
yeah.
Everything is 12 personnel, and he doesn't know how to use his wide receivers. It's awful ball.
No,
What if the Packers fire LaFleur? Can we have him?
Oh yeah. Oh hell yeah. Oh hell yeah.
Packers fans
They're
are
so
nuts for that
dumb.
shit.
Packers fans are so dumb. For
They
that.
are.
My
They are.
God.
But he's not going anywhere.
Nah, he's not.
No.
So my whole thing with Kevin Warren in the whole situation is like with polls, if Poles legit picked Flus or was signed off on Flus, Poles has to go because that means that's all levels of bad. He's made bad free agent decisions with not bringing in enough talent, bad drafting decisions with the few mistakes he's made, bad trade decisions with Claypool and what's the other trade he made that didn't work out? Anyway,
Roquan.
Yeah,
that was
One.
Poor Raul. You had to bring that up, Lucas. Man.
No,
You were asking about it.
No, you're right though. I just think if he signed off on Flus as well, I mean, because there's speculation that he didn't. I mean, at least within this podcast, Lucas brought it up, having already told Poles that there was 3 guys that were getting second interviews and nobody else was getting a second interview before he was even hired. Kind of makes it a little suspect.
So, and it's my belief that Poles' guy was Floss. It's
Okay.
my belief because who's Poles' mentor?
Brett
Veach
Veach.
from Kansas City. Yeah, Veach.
No, Poles' mentor is what's the bum with the Colts?
Oh, Chris, what's his nuts?
Ballard.
Ballard. Yeah.
So Poles' mentor is Chris Ballard. They got a good relationship. So that was off of his recommendation, and he felt like he knew Floss.
Oh, because Ballard was in Kansas City when Poles was before you got the Colts GM job.
Yeah. They've worked
Yeah.
together. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's his mentor, and
tracking.
that's who pushed the whole Floss thing. So I really believe that was his choice. It wasn't forced on him because he even said they asked him, "Is there anybody that you want to add or you want to interview?" And he said no. All the guys that made the finals pointed back to guys that Ballard and Poles knew.
Who's
the
the other
one
one? Jip Caldwell, and who's the other one?
What's his name? Dallas's D coordinator.
Oh,
Yeah.
Quinn. Dan
Yeah.
Quinn.
Quinn. Yep. So he knew all of them.
Yeah, we should have had him.
Now, Raul, not to keep playing hypotheticals here. You say Poles gets fired. Now we're on to GMs. Now I got one name for you, and you can tell me yes or no. This guy from his time in Minnesota. I mean, would you hire our friend Rick Spielman?
No.
I think he was a good GM, to be honest with you.
Ah.
I think he was a good GM in Minnesota.
All the guys in our chat love him.
Dude, Raul's conviction is the fucking best. Yes. No.
I think Rick Spielman was a great GM.
So this is my thing about people like Rick Spielman, right? And this is the issue with a lot of what the NFL is. These people have an idea of, and they get stuck in a mold of what they know. It's hard for them to be innovative because they've been around so long. They only know the mold that they know, and they don't know how to go outside of that box. That's what makes Andy Reid so great, right? Because he brings in so many people and he lets them all talk, and then he gets his opinions from them. So like the older GMs, they're stuck in their ways, right? They don't know, they can't really evaluate talent that's not in the context of the rule brick that they're used to, right? And one of the people that does it all of the time is what's his name? Our favorite former Chicago Bear scout,
Greg Gabriel.
Yeah, he does it all the time because he can't see outside of what he knows. And it's like, if you've noticed, a lot of the older GMs, they pick the same type of players,
Like
right?
Bill
Because
Belichick.
they're looking for, yes, exactly. They're hoping that luck strikes twice. Manic Bill has the same issue. That's why I would say no.
I just think Spielman. I think
Jefferson.
Spielman's crushed his drafts though. He's found some great players. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a ton of players in that Vikings team now that are all his picks.
I understand that, but I'm straight. I think you
I
can
hear
do
ya.
better. I think you can do better.
I think it's just an interesting name just because of the connection. I just thought of Kevin Warren actually.
Yeah,
I mean,
What
if
do you think of
Warren,
that?
well, if Warren, if Warren gets hired and he hires Harbaugh, who's the? I mean, there isn't even a GM, right? Or it's a pseudo
Well,
GM.
I'm assuming they would hire a new GM before the coach. I would hope,
Yeah. Yep.
or else we're back to square one again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, unless Warren is your de facto GM and the coach is another de facto GM.
Well, Warren's not going to be doing the drafting and shit. I mean, he'll just be making those decisions, but I'm sure he'll be.
Yeah, but there's a lot more to being a GM than just drafts, you know. And,
Yeah.
there's the business aspect of it. You are a manager of the entire organization. I mean, you're damn near the guy. I mean, Kevin Warren is the guy. So if you hire somebody below him, totally understand that. It would be like, to me, in that scenario, it'd almost be like an Ian Cunningham type situation, like an assistant GM to Kevin Warren to run drafts, to run scouts, to run the scouts, things like that. And then, you know, if you hire a Harbaugh, that's another voice
bad
in
guy.
that. What?
You have an assistant GM to be the bad guy. and make
To be the scapegoat. Your fault.
You still need a GM. I don't think that Kevin Warren wants to get into the business of player acquisition one way or the next. Now, if there's a player that has red flags, that's when they will ask Kevin Warren, but I doubt that he wants to get into that, pick player X or Y.
We don't take players with red flags roll
At all.
Ever since Ray McDonald, George put a kibosh on that, dude.
But
that's probably why there's no Carter and no George Pickens, because there were red flags.
But we do take coaches that are serial perverts, though. But whatever.
Do we know if that's what's going on?
I mean, it was reported by Schefter that he was doing inappropriate things. So I would say, yeah,
it could be a female staffer.
Yeah. But he's still a pervert.
Yeah, that's true.
You whipping it out in the office, there's no reason for that. Or you saying nasty things in the office.
Exactly.
No reason for that.
Hey, the Bears got some addition by subtraction there, getting rid of Claypool and him. The defense has been better, and the offense has been better.
And the fucking Dolphins lost this past week, first week with Claypool active.
Did you see him? Did you see him trying to block on the perimeter on one of the runs? It would have been a huge run too, and he just whiffed on the guy, and the guy made the play in the backfield.
I just don't. I literally do not know. Like, I don't get the thought process with that trade. And when it happened, I said it. Bear Twitter got on me about it, that I was this, that, and the third. I was a hater. I'm never happy. And I'm like, you guys haven't watched this guy.
I'll eat my shit on that. I was wrong.
The tape was out. Like, people in Pittsburgh were telling you this guy's not a team guy. He's lazy. You look at his routes. He doesn't run good routes. He's the same player that he was when he came out. Why would you trade for that?
I mean, if Mike Tomlin doesn't want a player, there's a pretty good chance you don't want him.
Thank you.
You know, and I'll eat it too. I mean, I'm a big Irish guy, but like coming out, I didn't really understand why he was so hyped up. He didn't do all that much at Notre Dame. It was all
vertical routes.
It was all attributes. It's all attributes. I mean, the guy was huge and fast, and
But that's what you draft, though. You're drafting off of attributes, and you're saying, I can coach, the football stuff with him. Because at ND, he showed enough to be a dominant wideout, right? And ND's quarterback situation wasn't the best. But you can't be the same player that you were in college in the NFL. You just can't. There's no maturity. He hasn't matured his game whatsoever.
He can go walk the French runway all he wants.
Yep.
All right. Well, I got to go back to what you said earlier. You said if the Bears have the number 1 pick, there's not a discussion. But if they have the number 2 pick, there is a discussion if you keep Fields over the number 2.
Yeah.
Do you think there's that big of a difference between who goes 1 and who goes 2, or do you think it's just that the guy at 1 will be the pick no matter what if you pick there?
The guy at 1, I think, is going to be the pick no matter what.
Now, is that because of your personal belief, or do you just think it's because he's penciled in there and that's how?
Because he's penciled in there. The thing about Williams is I can't remember a player that's had more more familiarity with the rest of the NFL. Right? All of the coaches know him. They've been following him since he was a kid. So people know him and they feel comfortable about him. And they've been waiting for him for the longest. He's been in these camps and these circuits for I don't know how long.
That's how
So
it felt
it's
with like Lawrence too, though, didn't it? Feel like similar?
yeah, but I think his is worse. I think his is deeper. Pause. I think his is like way the the familiarity with the coaches is way longer. Right? So yeah. Do I think I also I don't think he's the quarterback that everybody says he is. I'm not one that thinks that he's just like the second coming. I don't think he is. I think he's going to be very, very good. I don't think he's like the can't miss prospect.
That's already better than what Joe Gaither thinks. He's been drinking the haterade.
Yeah. I ain't mad at him. I don't think
he's not a sure thing.
he's not.
Joe Hader 6.
He's not. I don't think. I think people go above and beyond thinking that and saying that he's like just the most can't miss. This, that, and the other. I think if you don't have a strong team around him, he's going to struggle initially.
And he's going to pout on the sidelines. He's going to check out.
Yeah, I think you need a strong team around him. Drake May, I think, is going to be good. I don't think Drake May is all.
Same thing. The Bears can easily screw up any of these quarterback prospects right here. Is my big take.
Sure, they can screw up anyone, but my point is they've never had a pick this high to draft a player of this caliber. Well, they did, and they drafted Mitch.
Yeah, they can easily screw it up. It's going to be easier to screw it up than to get it right.
So if they're gonna get Harbaugh, then we're just gonna end up with with JJ anyway, right?
McCarthy in the third round.
Third round.
Dude, shit, McCarthy's gonna go second,
top 10.
if not. Yeah, I was gonna say he's a first rounder easily, dude. If not a first, he's a second.
He's definitely like a top 10 pick right now.
That's nuts, dude. What about is Quinn Ewers still?
He's been hurt.
Still top 10.
He busted his shoulder.
Yeah.
Raul, that was my point, is that the Bears can easily screw up a Caleb Williams or a Drake May or any of these top quarterbacks.
Absolutely. Any franchise can. I mean, look, there's not one quarterback in this league, right, that's successful that does not have
good
heavy
infrastructure.
artillery. Right? There's not one. You can't name me one quarterback that does not have heavy artillery as far as an offensive like weaponry and line that's successful. You can't name me one. Who?
I mean, he's a Hall of Famer, but Mahomes has one dude.
Yeah,
And he's had one dude for the entire time.
No,
He's the
he had
exception.
Tariq.
Well, okay. But I mean,
He had Tariq, and he's had some decent O-line.
but they didn't win with Tyreek. They lost
they
that
did.
Super Bowl. No, they didn't. Because
Yes, they
you had
did.
that argument. No,
The
it was
Sting-
after they paid.
yes,
It was
they
after they paid him. They lost.
Yeah, they did. They
Oh,
won
They
it.
did. They won. They won, but then they paid him, and then they lost.
Okay,
They beat-
but this is what I'll say. Mahomes had 2 Hall of Famers on his team.
Yeah.
His first, three years? He had 2 Hall of Famers on his team. If there isn't one, there's not one really good quarterback that is not absolutely loaded offensively. So if you don't load that offense up, you're setting the quarterback back up for failure.
Now, Raul, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I think if the Bears are picking one, it'll be a better situation to be drafted 1 and 2 than most other teams. I don't think the Bears are that far off from having a good offense. I mean, they got DJ Moore last offseason. We talked about the line being better. We know your favorite eligible tight end, Cole Kmet. He's not horrible. I mean, if they add another receiver, if they have another top pick for like a Marvin Harrison or they sign a T. Higgins in free agency, I think it's a solid situation for a quarterback to walk into.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. There are other places that could be, really improved. But yeah, it's not the worst. But I do feel as for a quarterback to succeed, you need to like go above and beyond as far as help.
I,
There's
I,
this.
I think the argument about the Caleb Williams, Drake May, whatever rookie quarterback is just a little bit misguided when people say, can't miss and generational is
Exactly.
it's more so to me. I don't think the Bears have had the chance to draft this caliber of quarterback ever. Like we talked about Mahomes, like they missed on Mahomes. That was it that year when we took Mitch at 2. But if you're picking one, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like Williams is as good of a prospect as you would get there.
I'm going to be 100% honest, and I think that people are going to, and you can go back and check my tweets.
I mean, I know you like Fields in college, but
I
moral of the
think
story,
that
he was QB4 that year.
yeah, and that was a mistake, clearly. But I don't go off of other people's notions or other people's grades or what other people think. I don't even read other people's opinions on the draft, right? Because it can corrupt what I'm seeing. But I think that Justin Fields is at the same level quarterback as Williams is. Fully believe that. I'm not. I know the public is going to be like, no, you're crazy. I think they are the exact same level of quarterback, and I loved Justin Fields coming out.
And they both have the same. They both had the same sort of issues.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I disagree with that because I think Williams takes bad sacks, yes, but I think he gets the ball out way quicker, and I think he's
Quick
way
release.
better.
Yeah.
I think he has a very quick release, which is why I'm saying his caliber is a tier above Fields because Fields always had that slower release, and it was always something that was a negative on him.
So what Fields has is a slower release, but what Fields also has is he's a bigger QB that can sit in the pocket and take the punishment. So it might be slower, but he'll get the ball out there, take the hit, and keep on going. Right? We haven't seen much of that with Caleb Williams, who's 6 foot, 200 pounds. Right?
I mean,
So it's a give and take.
I feel like you don't want your QB getting hit that much because Fields has been hurt quite a few times already.
It's going to happen. Also, Fields is a much better athlete.
Yeah, I mean, I don't doubt that. I just think from actual QB play, I think the big glaring difference is getting the ball out quicker and a quicker release, which is why I think Williams is a better prospect.
You know what? I've said it over and over, and this is not the first time. There are people that can vouch for me saying this. I really think that they are the same caliber prospect. I think one is just a little bit over, has been more hype because of them being in the circuit, in the NFL circuits since they were like 8, right? And I think that's Caleb Williams. And don't get me wrong. I think Caleb can hoop, and I think he's going to be very, very good.
I mean, wasn't Justin on a TV show when he was in high school? Like, hasn't he been hyped since he was in junior high too?
No, I mean Caleb has been everywhere. He's not been like Trevor Lawrence might be the only other person that has gotten close to that type of hype and familiarity.
And Fields beat him out for MVP in that camp.
Yep.
So how do we get Bears Twitter, Raul, on selling the number one pick?
You can't. I'm taking Caleb.
Yeah, shut up. Well, I'm talking to a smart person right here now. To sell the number one pick for massive loot. And you can take Harrison, you can take Fashanu, you can take whoever you want, right, at 3, and then you also have more first-rounders for next year, and you let somebody else, you let Arizona take Caleb Williams, and you build around what you got right now. You build the infrastructure up. Okay, it might be pretty good infrastructure for a number one pick. It might be, but you continue to build the infrastructure over time. If Fields goes another, you got the 5th-year option. If Fields sucks or is more of the same, then you're right back to drafting in the top 10. You still have first-round picks from the trade that you can take, whoever you want, Caleb Klubnik if you want to, or whatever, take your franchise that way if you want, or you just stay patient with it. Because my big thing is, look at the 49ers. Brock Purdy's he's ass. Brock Purdy is ass.
You'll never be the 49ers. You'll never draft that good.
But that's what I said. It doesn't matter. See, if Justin fails, it doesn't matter because we have Tyson Bagent.
And so the infrastructure is so good that you make the core. I mean, that you make the team almost. I mean, they got Jimmy fucking Garoppolo to a Super Bowl.
Yep. And
Quarterbacks to a Super Bowl, and we're sitting here.
But here's the thing: how many Super Bowls do they win if they had a real quarterback, Joe? Because right now, it looks like Purdy might be the weakest spot on that 49ers roster, which might hold them back from winning. So to your point, you can keep kicking the can down the road, but at some point, you need to fire your shot to take that QB when you have the number one pick.
They took Lance. And they fired their shot. And they were hoping that he was going to be the guy and really elevate it, but he wasn't. And you know what? That didn't kill the roster. That didn't set the franchise back 10 years or 5 years because they're still a quarterback.
He has a valid point.
Still fine, and they can.
Yeah, but they just about knocked every single pick they had out of the park. I just don't think it's realistic to expect any GM to do that.
So what
I mean, you had a top two where you took Bosa. Right,
dude. They traded like 4 first-rounders away, and then still hit all their late rounders, and then this year went back to fucking drafting a kicker in the 3rd round.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, a lot of their talent comes from other places. Like Trent Williams isn't theirs, Christian McCaffrey's not theirs. I mean, yeah, they hit Debo in the 3rd. They hit Ayuk. Ayuk was another first-rounder, though. I mean, a lot of the talent on this team isn't like
Warner.
I mean, linebackers are Ufunga's that's a solid player. Dude, I'm just saying, like, that it's like I'm making the point of, you know, you can. The best thing for the Bears is for either quarterback to work out, whether it's Fields or Bagent. I know Bagent's like the longest shot on the planet, but yes, the best thing for the Bears is for Fields to work because. You can do all the things Joe said, or you can just not trade him and take whoever you want with those top 2 picks, you know, take Fashanu and Harrison Jr. or Verse or whatever you want to do. But I think to your point, Lucas, if you don't do it and neither one of them work out, you have fucked us for a good long time. Not being on that rookie contract. Because now Justin works out to a degree, because you know he's not going to just be the man in like a year and a half or whatever. And now you're paying him that $40 million a year contract.
The baseline is Daniel Jones. He's going to be on another fucking bozo.
When you could be on another. Yeah, but that was not a good. It's not like that's a good contract.
It's not a good contract, but it's now.
You can't use that as a baseline though. Are you talking about baseline for what he's going to get paid?
Yeah,
yeah. Okay,
yeah.
So
I mean, we're talking about a baseline of $50 million,
right? Almost. So he's going to get $50 million, and now you're not on that rookie contract anymore with a guy that might be broken. Whether or not he was more talented than Caleb Williams at the time, he might be broken at this point.
So I mean, I think what the only way you get there is if you have a real shot at the playoffs, and then he shows that, you know, it doesn't have to be everybody's like, oh, he has to play the same level as he did Washington and Denver, and that's just not realistic. But if he stacks those games up, and you know he's getting those touchdowns, it's going to be hard to walk away, because it's the 3rd year. Right? 3rd year does not mean you have arrived. Like, if he's improving and he has to change his style of play, and the team is showing some success, right? To just upheave and then bringing a new quarterback might be tough.
I don't like I said, I want it to work with Justin because it works best for everyone. And honestly, I think Kevin Warren could be the one to save all that. But yeah, I mean, if Poles isn't fired and he somehow convinces people that Fields wasn't his guy and he's not in love with Fields and blah 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 blah, then we're in a fucked up spot. Then we're in a weird spot.
Yep. But if you get to 7-9 or 7-10, or you get to 8-9, right, and Fields has been balling, right, or has been, you know, trending upwards, right, and you have the first pick and you have, let's say at that point, number 15, right? You can easily go from 1 to 3, right? And get a Marvin Harrison Jr. and still get another 1st-round pick.
Yeah,
in the future.
you can get a lot more than that.
Exactly.
Depending on who 3 is. I mean, going from 3 to 1. I mean, you could sell that. You could ransom that pick for
A lot of fucking dope.
a lot,
Yep.
and you could keep dropping back if you wanted to. I mean, you're not going to drop past where you think you can get Harrison, but shit, man, we saw Anthony Richardson go 4.
Yep.
I don't know if there's that many talented dudes that are above taking a quarterback. You know, Bryce went number 1 and CJ went number 2. Yeah,
that's fucked up too, because every single person there besides the GM wanted Stroud.
Oops.
Sorry.
No, not the GM, the owner. Actually, the owner. David Tepper was the one who fucking picked Bryce Young.
Pays to be the king.
Yeah, it hurts when you're George McCaskey or David Tepper.
That's crazy. I don't think fucking McCaskey would be taking meetings with the guy that would take 1 overall.
Yeah. But yeah, I gotta sign off, guys. Gotta do some work before tomorrow.
All right,
Raul.
Raul. Good
It's
to talk to
been
you,
real.
man.
Give us a quick prediction for Sunday night.
I'm just gonna be optimistic. Bears win by 3.
Ooh.
There we go.
24,
Sing the
21.
song.
That's just straight optimism. There's no analysis or anything in there. Just
Right.
being optimistic.
I love it. That'd be awesome.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us, Raul.
All right, man. Appreciate y'all.
All right, man. Take care.
All right, easy.
Have a great night.
That's Raul Bennington. You can follow him on the Twitter machine at black_42. So let's get to the business end. The Bears are at the Los Angeles Chargers this Sunday night. National TV game. The Bears are an 8.5-point
Agent.
Secret Agent man back in action, unless Justin Fields does something wild this weekend to his thumb. Will probably be another Agent man game. Our guys over under for Sunday Night Football is it is 46.5. The Los Angeles Chargers are coming off a loss, 2 losses in a row to the Dallas Cowboys and Kansas City Chiefs. They're 2-4, so their season is trending a lot like the Chicago Bears. Lucas Berry, what are you thinking about Bears Chargers Sunday Night Football?
Oh, Joe. I know better than not to get sucked in when I feel optimistic.
Don't do it. National TV game. The Bears are going to embarrass themselves. Twitter's going to go crazy. We'll be the brunt of every joke. You better callous your skin now, Believe in Monsters fans. Callous your skin and log off the X machine. Sunday night is going to be rough.
Yeah, so much like the Vikings game, I feel like the Bears almost have an advantage on a better team. Like, I think that the Chargers' run defense being so bad, the Bears should be able to expose that, especially from what we've seen last week. But from what we know and common knowledge tells us, it won't happen, and Bajan's going to be horrible, and we're going to fall flat on our face. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. I want to take the Bears so badly.
On TV. I guess the Washington game, but does that count as TV, Amazon streaming?
And then the Patriots Monday night last year. The Bears actually play better on primetime than they do at Sunday at 1 normally.
This is a home game for the Bears.
Agent man.
I know it's in LA, but it's a home game.
They've given you Justin's job and taken away his fame.
I didn't want to make
this is down a whole point, dude. This is down to 8.5. It was at 9.5 when I bet it.
I didn't want to make Raul too mad, but I really did like what I saw out of Bajan on Sunday. His ability to move the chains and keep his eyes downfield, and the main thing he did was just not put the Bears in disadvantageous situations, which is all they need.
I just got him to say, wow. Wow. Tyson's the man. Because it doesn't matter if Fields fails. Tyson's there.
I mean, there were some plays last week where I was like, Fields 100% takes a sack there.
Right.
3rd and 5 over the middle, dig over the middle.
Dude, that's a sack like 10 times out of 10 where he's just holding the ball and he just gets crushed by pressure that he knows is coming, but he looks like a deer in headlights.
And you know, as per the show rules that we've had for a while, even though they're unspoken, the guest gets pretty much full reign of the hour here because, you know, Raul likes to talk, Michael likes to talk, everybody likes to talk, and we love it. So let him talk. But I don't agree with the whole arm strength thing. I just think he's had some weird situations like that duck that he got picked off last week when he came in into the game. I don't think is indicative of his arm strength. I tagged you all in a tweet from now I can't remember the name. Anyway, it measured the like miles per hour at the combine for throws, and Bagent measured up with like Anthony Richardson, and I was told he has a very strong arm.
Who's winning this game, Chris?
Do I get the spread? Do I get the 8.5 or 9.5? Man, Justin Herbert's played like shit, dude, and our defense is playing so much better lately. I think the Bears have a real shot, especially since I do say it's a home game.
Don't do it.
I feel the same way, Chris. Keep going.
So I think the Bears can win this game. Yeah, I think they
All
can.
right, so what's the score?
So over under is 46.5.
46 and a half.
46 and a half. I'm going with my Chicago accent.
46 and a half.
Let's see here. It's probably still going to go under. I would say like 24-21 Bears.
All right. I'm saying 27-21 Chargers.
Yeah, Luke, you're right on it. I'm going
I do think it'll be somewhat close.
24 20, 24-19. Yeah, I'm going 24-20. Chargers. Go Chargers.
I still win my bet. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I do think the 8.5 is absurd.
I think the Bears will cover.
I think the 8.5 is fucking stupid. But I think that there's going to be some way, somehow, that Bagent's going to be, he's going to make the backbreaking play, or, I don't know. Quentin Johnson's finally not going to look like a rookie. It'll be something on Sunday night that, it'll be Sunday. Eberflus is going to shit his pants on the sidelines. Yeah.
Did you ever go back and look at the QBs that Eberflus has actually beaten?
No, please don't break my heart. It's probably like...
Just go back and look at the list of QBs that Eberflus has beaten. So this year, so far, it's been Sam Howell and Brian Hoyer. Last year, it was Mac Jones, Trey Lance, and who's the other one we had? Who else did we beat last year besides the Patriots and the 49ers?
Patriots, 49ers, and it was right around there. It was the same.
Hold, please. Oh, was it the Falcons? No, hold on. It was Houston.
So we beat – who was their quarterback that game? Davis Mills.
Yeah,
so we beat
Davis
Trey
Mills.
Lance.
Wait.
Trey Lance, Davis Mills, Mac Jones were our wins last year. And this year it's been Sam Howell and Brian Hoyer. Can Eberflus add a real QB to his collection?
Is Herbert a real QB this year, though?
Yeah.
Herbert's good. I like Herbert.
I don't think he's not good. I just
Listen,
think he's
if the
not
Bears
playing
win this,
well.
I will be very impressed. I know I just talk shit on the Chargers because I don't think they're as good as people think they are. Obviously, they're not. They have 2 wins. But their team is talented. If the Bears won, I would be impressed. And yes, I do think if they did win at that point, I say keep playing Bagent until he fucking loses.
I do too.
Like if you win and you win 2 times in 2 weeks for the first time, and since you've been a coach, you just keep riding that, dude.
Especially on Sunday Night Football.
That's what I mean, dude. No, you play the guy with the hot hand.
Man, I
Joe.
thought the yeah.
Joe, did you have any big takeaways from this game? Did it make you happy for once? It made me happy to see the Bears running the ball.
It looked efficient. The offense looked efficient. The defense
Foreman.
looked like it was playing hard. You got the turnover. Jalen Johnson got the interception for a touchdown. Like it was fun. It was finally like, it's fun to win. I don't know what you can take from it week to week because it's the Raiders and they are fucking trash. But
Raiders.
The autumn wind is a Raider. But it's fun. You got to go do it week in, week out, Bajent man. Let's see what you got. I don't really think that any sort of quarterback controversy is fair at all, but I'm with you, Luke. Like literally just
win. I don't care who's back there. Just win.
People want to talk about, is it sustainable? Can you win a Super Bowl with it? Is it sustainable? And I was like, we're not there as a team.
Yeah. Let's get a 2-game win streak.
Yes, exactly. That's where we are as a franchise. Like, we don't care if it's going to win us a division yet. We need a quarterback that can win us 2 fucking games in a row. So that's kind of where I am with any quarterback. Like, I'm out on every quarterback until they can win us 2 games in a row. And Bajent, nice start, big man. It starts with 1. You can't have a 2-game win streak without a 1-game win streak. So nice work.
So I'll leave the fans with a concluding thought, but I went on Twitter to provoke the Justin Fields crowd the other day, and I said Tyson Bajent's 164 yards is more yards than Justin Fields had in 10 of his last 20 starts.
Oh my God! Don't do that.
It's a real stat, Joe. That is a real stat.
I believe you.
He has had under 165 yards 10 times in his last 2 years.
I 1,000% believe you.
So, to put that in perspective, what Bajent did, his whopping 165 is better than 10 of Justin Fields' last 20.
Secret Bajent man, secret Bajent man.
Chris hit it on the head, though. We all want Fields to be the guy, and if he is the guy, that is the best thing for the Bears. We still have a lot more to see.
You've taken Justin's job and taken away his fame.
You guys got anything else, or you want to wrap this thing up?
Come on, Bears. Give me a reason to sing this song this weekend.
Green Bay sucks! Green Bay sucks!
That's some solace. I mean, God dang it. The fucking Packers look like asshole, and we made them look like a Super Bowl.
I don't care, dude. They're so bad. Jordan Love is horrendous with a capital H.
That's nice. Hopefully we can take advantage of it the last week of the year. That would
be nice.
Look, if you don't win another game this year, Chicago, save me from
what if that was Fields' last game in Chicago beating the Packers?
Then I will love him forever still. And I will always love you, just like Trubisky.